Hello everybody, welcome back to NEET's Biology by PEBBLEZ Pedagogy. This is the next life process that we would be discussing, that is nutrition. I'm again continuing with chapter 1 for NEET Biology, and previously we have had discussions about movement, respiration, sensitivity, growth, reproduction, excretion, and also have taken time to discuss about metabolism, and this is the seventh life process, that is nutrition. Okay, let me change the size of the pen. This looks too big for me now. Okay, so let us start with the definition of nutrition in simple terms. Nutrition is simply defined as obtaining food. It is defined as obtaining food for the purpose of producing energy, to produce energy in order to help repair cells within the body, for growth and also development. So we have started off with nutrition, which happens to be the seventh life process, and we have learnt what this term generally means. It is the process of obtaining food in order to produce energy, which would in turn help repair cells and various other tissues, along with growth and development. We all have food. Without food, we can imagine ourselves to be very tired, lethargic, and we would obviously not have any energy to do our daily life activities, isn't it? So, human beings, as always, we have an animal example, of course, and a plant example. First, let us discuss about animal example because it is easier for all of you to associate with, isn't it? So, we generally consume food, right? And the process of putting food into the mouth is called as ingestion, or sometimes called as ingestion. Okay, this is the process of putting food into the mouth. Please refer to this simple illustration, which will help you remember the process of nutrition in human beings. We put food into the mouth, and this process is called as ingestion. We ingest food so that we have energy to perform various daily life activities, such as doing our daily chores. And why does this body require energy? It will use the energy to maintain constant body temperature. Okay, constant body temperature, to repair a few cells, damaged cells, to replace them. Of course, it helps in cell growth and development, right? So these are all the process or basic functions for which we require energy, and this energy is given or supplied to us. How do we make sure that we get that energy? We consume food, and this process of obtaining food is called as nutrition. Now, this slightly differs with plants. As you can see here, I have written the equation for photosynthesis. Right? This is a chemical equation for photosynthesis. Of course, I have not balanced it. Fine. Since plants can make their own food in the leaves through a process of making use of raw materials, just carbon dioxide and water, of course in the presence of chlorophyll and sunlight, they produce simple sugars such as glucose, and there is release of oxygen. This is the basic equation for photosynthesis, which I'm sure all of you would have learnt in your previous science classes, right? So, since plants can prepare their own food, this process of nutrition would involve the process of photosynthesis. Only when they make their own food will they be able to get simple sugars. Unlike human beings or other animals which depend upon plants, wherein we put the food into our mouth by the process of ingestion, and that is how we take in the nutrients. Now, what do you understand by the term nutrients? We generally say that we have to consume food which is rich in nutrients. What does that mean? You might have heard of these simple biomolecules or biological molecules, which are such as carbohydrates, then fats or lipids, proteins, and of course the DNA, right? That is the nucleic acid. But how do we get the basic nutrients into our body? It is again through the process of nutrition. We consume food in nutrients which have such as carbohydrates, lipids, and proteins, which are broken by the process of digestion, and by the process of digestion they are broken into simpler aspects. Carbohydrates are broken into simple sugars, lipids into fatty acids and glycerol, while proteins are broken into amino acids, right? So when these components or these nutrients are split into simpler units, our cells within the body can easily take them in by the process of assimilation and incorporate them into the cells wherever they are required. For example, the cell membrane is made up of proteins and fatty acids, right? Cytoplasm will have a few proteins, it will have water, our nucleus has nucleic acid. So the nutrients, the process of taking in a food, putting the food in the mouth is called ingestion. The process of obtaining food for maintaining constant body temperature, for cell growth, is called as nutrition. The food will have various nutrients such as carbohydrates, lipids, and proteins, which will be further broken down by the body but through the process called as digestion, which we'll be discussing later on, into simpler sugars, fatty acids, glycerol, amino acids, phosphates, and all those things. So once they are broken into smaller components, they are assimilated or they are incorporated into the cells of the body wherever they are utilized, and they are replenished constantly. We will go into the details of digestion, assimilation when we discuss about digestive system. But as of now, I am just giving you an introduction into what would happen to these nutrients, and there is no need to get confused. Let me reiterate whatever I have discussed just now. I would like to change the color of the pen as always. We have discussed the 7th life process, that is nutrition. This is continuation of the life processes for chapter 1. So for those of you who are finding it a little hard to understand, you can refer back to my previous videos. The definition of nutrition is the process of obtaining food in order to produce or to provide the body with energy and to help repair cells, to help maintain body temperature, for growth and development of the body. This nutrition or this process of nutrition differs from with respect to plants and animals. Animals, you can take your own example. You consume food in order to get that energy, and you consume food which are rich in nutrients, which are either loaded with proteins, carbohydrates, lipids, or any of these biological molecules which are later on utilized by our cells, right? Okay, so once they are utilized, they would be help in producing energy, of course, to maintain constant body temperature for further growth and development and repair of a few cells. This sums up nutrition in animals, whereas it is slightly different with respect to or in terms of plants. Since plants can prepare their own food by a process called as photosynthesis, the nutrition would involve the process of photosynthesis. So this sums up the seventh life process. I would like you to share, like, subscribe to my videos, and please hit the bell icon to get future notifications whenever I publish a video. Thank you so much for watching. Stay tuned for more such videos which would help you understand the basic concepts of biology and thus enable you to crack NEET exam with ease. Thank you so much for watching.